Thanks for tuning in to the Finance News Network. With me today from Supastructure is Chairman Paul Watson and the founder of Rocktown Group, John Hughes. Gentlemen, welcome to the network and thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica.
Firstly, Paul, just give us an introduction to Supastructure.
Supastructure is a newly formed organisation put in place to acquire existing sustainable businesses that operate in infrastructure, civil engineering, heavy civil engineering in Australia. It's designed to collect a group of organisations, and we believe by collecting these organisations together, the synergy that we can create by giving them added advantages of balance sheet, working capital, systems and procedures will allow us to exploit in a positive way these opportunities coming before us. The federal government's announced $100 billion worth of work coming up in the next 10 years. New South Wales has budgeted for over $87 billion worth of work. Rocktown is the first target organisation that we're looking at acquiring. It's very familiar with a lot of people within the industry, particularly in relation to North Connects, West Connects, the Sydney Opera House. It's very active in civil engineering, structural engineering, tunnels, bridges, roads. It's also in heavy haulage. It has very high quality, very high performance of time. And for us, it's quite profitable, and we believe we can take it to the next opportunity.
Thanks, Paul. Now over to you, John, as the MD and founder of Rocktown. Just give us a little bit more detail.
We started the Rocktown business in 2006. Rocktown is a civil engineering construction company. We specialise in concrete structures. Rocktown have over 500 personnel spread across Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria, and Rocktown have $95 million worth of revenue on their books this year.
So you're a massively successful business. You've got lots of successful projects under your belt. Just tell us about some of them.
Jessica, we did a very large project in Western Australia. It was called the Gorgon project. We worked on the project for approximately 4.5 years for Chevron. The job was that successful that we got a tender to go to the Northern Territory to do another LNG plant. In Brisbane, Queensland, we completed the Clem 7 tunnel. Airport Link was very similar to it. It was another tunnel project. Into New South Wales, we've worked on some of the major infrastructure projects like the Cross City Tunnel, which is very similar to Brisbane, concrete lining and cross passages, large amounts of concrete. And that was the same in Lane Cove Tunnel and West Connects and North Connects. Down in Canberra, we took on a job which was the light rail, where we set the rail line tracks and built multiple stations on the railway project.
John, if you wouldn't mind telling me, what are you currently working on and what's in the pipeline as well?
Jessica, we're currently working on $95 million worth of work at present, with over $100 million in the pipeline. We're working in Brisbane, we're working in Sydney, we're working in Melbourne, and we have now branched out to overseas to Canada with Samsung Construction and a large water infrastructure project.
Thanks so much, John. Back to you, Paul. How much is the business looking to raise and what value will that put on Supastructure?
We've gone to the market with an offer of 140 million shares at 50 cents a share, giving us $70 million. Our intention is to acquire Rocktown and the residual, which will give us working capital and possibility to look at other acquisitions.
Brilliant. And Paul, how can investors find out more?
Jessica, they can go to our webpage, supastructure.com. They can go to the lead manager, XSLEM Financial Services. They can go to their broker.
And just lastly, gentlemen, before we let you go, why should investors consider adding Supastructure to their portfolio?
The organisation is true, tried. Its existing market, the market's been demonstratively improved by the federal government and the state government's announcements in their budgets, over $185 billion worth of infrastructure projects. This organisation, Rocktown, is very successful, it's very well placed, it's highly respected in the industry. They've got a very healthy turnover this year. They've got 80% of next year's turnover in the can already. We can add to that significantly by our additional resources coming into the organisation, and it will take us to the growth path that we believe the investors will be quite appreciative of. Jessica, one of the other things I might just mention in potential shareholders, particularly super funds or retirees, is that the board of directors are committed to a 3.5% dividend payment as a result of the acquisition of Rocktown and moving forward with the organisation.
Outstanding. Paul Watson, John Hughes, thank you so much for the introduction and good luck with the IPO.
Thanks, Jessica.